So you have solar, but is it working as well as it should be? In this video, I'm going to show you how to check out if your solar system is working properly. I'll show you how you can easily identify 5 problems that you may have with your solar system that will result in reduced solar production. And then I'll show you the bleeding obvious reason your system may be underperforming. I'm Mark from MC Electrical in Brisbane, and this is part of my Know Your Solar series that we have created in order to help out our customers after their solar is installed. Okay, let's get started. You're going to need to log into your inverter monitoring platform. I'll be using the Fronius inverter monitoring platform, but you'll be able to get a lot of this information from most string inverters. It may just be a little bit more difficult. The second thing you'll need is your solar system production estimate that should have been given to you by your installer or the installation company. So this is the performance estimate that we email to our customers at the point of sale. Now, down the bottom of this doc is the important stuff. We estimated that this system would produce around about 9,400 kilowatt hours per year on average. So we'll keep that 9,400 kilowatt hour figure in mind as we log into Fronius Solarweb. Okay, once you've logged in, just click on this energy balance button, and then we're going to click on total. So this system was installed in 2016 and 2017, it had a full year of production. So in 2017, this system that we estimated was going to produce 9,400 kilowatt hours produced 9.46 megawatt hours or 9,460 kilowatt hours. Coincidentally, just a little bit above our estimate. But if we then go and look on 2022, year that it had in production, it produced 8,460 kilowatt hours. So that's a full 1,000 kilowatt hours less than it produced in 2017. So we want to look in and try to work out what's going on here. Why are we losing so much production? So there are 5 things that I'm suggesting that it would be excessive panel degradation. So solar panels lose their performance over time. It could be due to export limiting, or it could be due to excessive dirt on the panels. It could be due to increased shading, or it could be due to high grid voltage. Okay, let's take these problems one at a time. So first, these panels were installed in 2016 and they degrade around about 1% per year. So yes, degradation is a factor, but the maximum degradation I would expect is around about 6% over that 6-year period. So let's have a deeper look and see if there is anything else that may be causing this production to be going down. The second issue that you may need to look for is export limiting. If your system is export limited, it should have been explained to you in the quote. Your production graphs may look a little bit like this on a good clear day where you're not using too much power. So this is a 10 kilowatt system that has been export limited to 5 kilowatts. The production is limited because the inverter is programmed to send no more than 5 kilowatts back to the grid at any one time. If that doesn't make much sense, check out this video for a quick explanation of export limiting. Okay, the third potential problem is dirty panels. The chances are that these panels are not as clean as they were on day one. But unless your panels are really filthy, dirty panels will only reduce your production by 1 or 2%. So check out this video for tips on cleaning your solar panels. So maybe this job has a combination of degradation and dirty panels. To explain the fourth potential issue, we need to dig into the graphs a little bit more. So if you've paid for Fronius Premium Monitoring, this is going to be easy. But if not, I've got a hack coming up in a minute, so stick with me. Okay, to start off, make sure you're on this production tab up here and go into 2016 and into December. And if you've got Fronius Premium Monitoring, you'll be able to see what your system produced each day in the month of December right back in 2016. Now, let's click on a good day, and I know a good day was 30th of December, and you can see you've got a nice perfect bell curve, and there may be a little bit of building or tree shade late in the afternoon at about 5:30, and it starts up around about 5:45 or something like that. And if we click on this consumption tab now, it can tell you the peak production, which it hit around about 5 kilowatts or just over that. Now, remember, panels degrade, so you're not going to expect it to flatline at 5 kilowatts for its entire lifetime. Let's go back to the production tab. We're going to go back to 2021. We'll click into December again, and we still are on production tabs here, so we can see what we produced. I can tell by these bar charts that the 14th and the 15th was a good day. So we've, again, got a nice production chart, and we can see around about 5:45 in the morning, it started up again, and we still had this kind of little plateau off at about 5:30 in the afternoon. Now you can see this curve here on this particular day wasn't flatlining as much. If we click on the consumption tab, it shows us our production, a little bit counterintuitive. It didn't flatline as much, and I wouldn't expect it to hit the same kind of power 5 years later, because you do have that degradation and dirt from your panels that is going to make it produce a little bit less. But we can tell there's no massive dips down here saying that a tree has grown that is shading your afternoon production. So we don't have any major shading issues there. Now, you should also make the same comparison on a clear winter's day, June or July. So shading often has a bigger impact in winter because the sun is much lower in the sky, and you can see if shading is affecting your system now worse than it was on day one. Now, if you didn't pay for Solarweb Premium, you won't have all of this daily data here, but there is a hack in the back end. So check this out. We're going to back out and we're going to click on analysis. And now we're going to click on history and going to get deep into the back end. And I'm just going to click on that inverter, not on the energy meter or your smart meter. And now look down at channels, and there are a heap of channels down here, but all we want to look here is at total power and press OK. And now check this out. You can go to total and you can see all your production charts from back in the day. And you can compare them that way, winter versus winter or whatever you like. Before I go on, if that little life hack has helped you out, then do me a favor and give me a thumbs up. Okay, now while we're looking at these graphs, let's look into the fifth issue that may be causing your solar to underproduce, and it is grid voltages. So we're going to go back here into channels and we'll turn off the total power and we can look at voltage AC. So this is the voltage that's coming in from your street, which you probably know should sit around about 240 volts. If you've got three phase, there'll be L1, L2, and L3. So you'll click all three phases and we'll press OK. So if your voltage ends up getting up over 253 volts, then the system will start limiting its production. And that's a reason that you could have underproduction. If it gets right up to 258 volts, your solar will actually drop out and you'll lose a lot more production. So looking into your voltages here to make sure that they're not sitting too high. So checking out your voltages is a good thing, because if you've got high grid voltages, we need to get onto Energex and get them to tap it down. Now, there is a whole lot more data that we can cover under this history tab. If you want a video explaining voltages and currents, drop me a comment below. But the bleeding obvious reason that has been causing reduced solar production on systems throughout Brisbane in the last few years is the Brisbane weather. And that's the issue we have here. So according to the BOM, in 2017 was an average rainfall year for Brisbane. So we got average results. 2019 was one of the driest years on record in some parts of Brisbane. 2021 was a little wetter than average. And if you live in Brisbane, you probably know that 2022 was the wettest year on record in Brisbane. So that 16% drop that you see between 2019 and 2022 is in a large part due to rainfall. Now, I hope this video about using the Fronius monitoring platform has helped you out. Let me know in the comments below if it has helped out, and click subscribe if you want more information like this. My name's Mark from MC Electrical in Brisbane, and I'll catch you next time.